Noon here in Southern California. We're at the Park Hyatt Aviara Golf Club in Carlsbad in between San Diego and Los Angeles. It's first round coverage of the 8th playing of the Kia Classic. Grant Boone and Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin watching a past champion here, Christy Kerr, at the par 3 14.
Christy Kerr, the 14th, played straight downhill 163 yards in this first round.
See how nicely she asked for it to come back, and here it comes. She would go on to make birdie. Would shoot a round of 66.
Didn't you say you get more with honey than vinegar?
We've seen some bees out here today. Lydia Ko, world #1, defending champion. This was her 9th hole of the day for par. That's kind of the story of the day, wasn't it?
The story of the day. We saw her struggle with the putter last week, and she's going to have to get that straightened out.
She didn't struggle with much of anything last week. Anna Nordquist, the winner in the Phoenix area, and this is at the 9th, and she locks it in there to a couple of feet. She would shoot 3 under 69 on this par 72. And at the 11th, one of so many players from Southern California, Allison Lee, a UCLA product, gets that to fall for a total of 4 under as she plays here in the afternoon. Christy Kerr and Mo Martin, 66s. Would it surprise you if I told you Mo Martin hit 13 fairways and 18 greens?
Not at all. Not at all.
A good way to shoot 66. Marissa Steen looking for a career best finish. Even Lee's had good showings here in the past at the Kia. Alejandra Munoz with an ace today. There's Brittany Linscomb, who won in the Bahamas earlier this year. Ellen Masson made a triple on the last hole. She was going along splendidly until that. Jelena Pillar still somehow looking for her first victory. Big names here in the afternoon. First round coverage. Playing overall. Take a look at this august group. Bringing you coverage today. Hall of Famers and major champions all over the place. And we are at the 11th, and Tom Abbott is there.
Thank you, Grant. Pernilla Lindberg going along very well today. 1 off the lead. This hole 163 yards. Flag just 4 paces on. Pernilla, a 30-year-old from Sweden, now lives in Orlando. Asking for that one to get up. I think she was a little concerned that it was heading towards the water, but it's going to be okay. Not great, and that's going to be quite a quick putt or chip coming back down the hill. So work to do for Pernilla. And we'll go ahead to the 16th.
And this is a birdie putt for Allison Lee. We're about 100 miles from the UCLA campus. She'll have that short putt for par. Three under, 3 off the lead. Welcome to Carlsbad, California. Grant Boone and Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin. The first major championship of the LPGA Tour season is next week. The field this week makes it kind of seem like a major championship. All the stars are out.
Yeah, well, it's a very strong field this week. First of all, because players really like it here. And secondly, because it is a good warm-up for next week. And the vast majority of players do want to play the week before a major championship.
Well, we saw world #1 Lydia Ko struggling today. Surprised?
I am surprised, although I saw her struggle with the putter a little bit last week also, even though she threw in around the 63 on Saturday. But it is next to impossible to win out here if you do not putt well.
It's tough to win out here, period, especially if you're a young player like Marissa Steen, with so many great players playing very well, like Ariya Jutanugarn, like Lydia Ko, and here's Steen. Best career finish, a tie for 30th on the LPGA Tour.
Well, you just have to do what she's doing right now, which is get herself, playing the first couple of days and get herself in contention. You have to get a taste of what that's like on this tour. And then you have to, I guess, plan, hope, work so that you're there more often.
Fun hole. They'll move the tee up on Saturday and Sunday. It'll be a drivable par 4. Let's take a look at our tournament notes here at the Kia Classic. 22 of the top 25 And the Rolex World Golf Rankings are here. Charlie Hull was here, celebrated her 21st birthday on Monday, but had to pull out this morning.
Yeah, hurt her right wrist a little bit in the rough in the Pro-Am, and she had carpal tunnel in that wrist a little time ago. So she has gone to see a doctor here locally and is going to rest for a few days.
Hope she's okay for next week at the ANA. 64 is the course record here at the Park Hyatt Aviara. Lydia Ko tied for 90th, and Anna Nordquist in 2015 has the best finish by defending champion. And Anna in great form, 69 today after winning last week. We are at the 12th, and Hannah Zhang. Karen Stupples is watching that group.
Couldn't get close to this whole location, had a bad lie in the rough on the left.
Ooh.
But make up for it with a putt like that. That was tremendous for speed.
What a putt.
That won't get the dance move,
yeah,
but it could.
Yeah, we're dancing in here. We thought it was pretty great.
All right, let's take a look at our featured groups today, presented by JDX. Area Jatanagarn, world number 2, Suzanne Pedersen. And there's Ashley Buhai, who is taking the place of Charlie Hull, and she's so far taken advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, playing very well. She's Ashley Simon before she was Buhai from South Africa.
And then our other featured group, Lexi Thompson, lost the playoff first event of the year in the Bahamas. Jessica Korda and Hannah Zhang, one of our 5 winners this year on the LPGA Tour. This is the 6th of 34 official money events. And here is Lexi Thompson at the 12th.
And also from quite a long distance away, Lexi unfortunately hit her drive, hit the tree, fell down into the bunker, so had a really long bunker shot. And with this hole playing downwind, uphill from the bunker, it was almost impossible to get it to stop close to this front hole location. This will be a good test for her speed as well.
She's gone to a very, very conventional, traditional putting style and putter, and from time to time it has looked really good. That's just a tough putt going down there. Everybody's a little bit afraid to get it rolling.
Up 1 to 13.
And Suzanne Pedersen second.
This blind second up the hill, Tom, 119 yards of the hole, back left hole location. You really don't want to flirt with hitting it long, but typically the ball will spin back here on a well-struck wedge shot. Well, that sounded a little thin. It's going to be well short of the hole where it lands. Oh, look at that skip.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's probably a good thing in the end that she hit it thin, Jerry.
Yes, no question.
Other players have cured it up the hill and then spun it back and had a long putt.
And at the 12th, Jessica Korda for birdie.
And I just witnessed a really cute thing. Nelly Korda was putting on the 15th green, which is the green that attaches to this one. And Jessica couldn't stop watching her sister play, and you could almost feel the pride coming from her. Again, tricky putt for her there, though. Left herself plenty of work to come back for her 2-putt.
A couple of sister acts on the LPGA Tour this season. We have the Jatanagarns, we have the Kordas, and they've all been playing extremely well. Also,
it's the only part of the flag they can see back here at the 13th. Ashley Buhai.
Just 111 yards for Ashley. Area Jatanagarn played second after Suzanne. Hit one about equidistant to Suzanne, 15 feet away. You do want to keep it under the hole.
it's a good camera view because you are seeing exactly what the player sees.
That just almost plugged when it landed, Judy. It was a very high wedge shot.
At the 12th, Lexi Thompson for par.
Made one of just this length on the previous hole for par also. And I really like what she's doing, Judy, with the change. I think it takes the wrists out of it. Before they were too wristy for my liking, but now much more solid.
Whew, that was a good effort.
Up ahead at the 16th, a birdie attempt for Marissa Steen.
This green tends in the back half of the green to kind of tilt towards the back of the green. So you might see this go to the right.
We did. Good read. Pair of 66s this morning for Kerr and Martin. Camilla Lindbergh giving chase this afternoon, as is Steen, who has a little work left at the 16th. Arya Jatanagarn, Suzanne Pedersen, Lexi Thompson, Jessica Korda, all in our afternoon coverage here. Day one of the Kia Classic from Carlsbad.
On behalf of all Kia team members and retailers nationwide, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 8th annual Kia Classic. Kia is a recognized leader in design, quality, and technology, and we are proud to share this signature event with golf fans here throughout Southern California, as well as those watching from home. For the Kia brand, reinvention and innovation are at the forefront of everything we do, and a prime example is the second-generation Kia Cadenza, our stylish and reimagined luxury sedan, which will be prominently featured throughout the Kia Classic and other LPGA tournaments. We are proud to partner with the LPGA and excited to watch the top players in the world of women's professional golf compete for the $1.8 million purse, with the winner receiving the keys to a brand new Cadenza. Thank you for watching and enjoy the 2017 Kia Classic.
Out at the 11th, Pernilla Lindbergh has been quite fortunate here. If you remember, the ball came to rest against the fringed grass there, and the longer cut of grass, and she was able to get a drop, assumed for a sprinkler head. So this is a much easier shot, and as you can see, she's putting it. A pretty good judge of the speed, and that'll be for a 3. Playing defense there on the 11th. Let's go to the 13th. Ashley Buhai for birdie.
Underneath the hole, not much break. Pretty slow putt. Ooh, that was a good stroke.
Yeah, good birdie.
With authority.
Well, she's a good player. She's won a couple of times on the Ladies European Tour. She's had success already this year down in South Africa.
Pop up again? If it gets to the right level, but if it's short, I don't think it will. Figure it's, yeah. Figure it's probably got to be more like a fishing wedge, don't you think?
Now this is the problem here, Judy, coming out of that rough.
This is no slouch of a par 5 either. You think of the par 5s being the birdie opportunities, but this hole can
5 yards is still bad.
really play top.
Right, and that's like with 100 yards, 100 of the wind would be.
But it should run up if it lands short.
Okay. We just don't want it to be.
It's 5?
We just don't want it to be too short, because then it's going to run back down and you're chipping down the grain. And if it ends up like 12 feet past the pin, we'll be better off. Right. You hit 100 yards out with that shot.
It seems as though she's not 100% comfortable hitting the longer club here, but the caddy is really he's really insistent on that. Let's see what happens.
I guess this is what players are talking about when they say you have to be committed to every shot. So you have to believe what you're doing is exactly what to do.
So
That's not too bad. Take a look at the Solheim Cup point standings for the United States in this Solheim Cup year. 8 players qualifying through the points list, 2 from the world rankings, and then Captain Inkster will cement the team with 2 captain's picks. The team will be finalized following the Rico Women's British Open right at the beginning of August, so there's a little bit of time left, but the clock is ticking. Christy Kerr and Mo Martin on the outside looking in terms of points, but they would be in through the world rankings. They are the 2 players at the top of the leaderboard here in Carlsbad as we go to the 14th.
And we get a chance to check out our top tracer technology, Judy. Ashley Buhai, 3 off the lead at 3 under.
With the 7-iron down the hill, little breeze helping. Didn't really go after that swing wise, but went right at the hole, just left of it.
Oh, beautiful shot. This is a beautiful hole, and when the hole is cut on the right portion of this green, there's not a lot of depth to the green, so you better be right. But you are playing from so high above, from today 163 yards. It's a real good chance you're going to set something down gently.
And it really looks cool with that top tracer technology, the shot that Buhai hit, and now Pettersson.
It's 157 to get to the green, in line with today's hole location, only 163 holes, so not a lot of room there at all. And there is still a little bit of guesswork involved because of the elevation and the swirling winds. That to a 7-iron, much more conservative line, not on purpose.
Hard putt, big slope in this green from back to front.
We've got that Kia Cadenza on the line for the first 2 professionals to make an ace this week. We've had 2 aces already today, but not here at 14. Now Area Jatanagarn.
8-iron for area, not a surprise there, not a big one. This one with a little baby fade on it, not much, still left of the hole.
Okay.
3 birdie putts for this group at the 14th coming up as they make their way down the hill. Back to check out Allison Lee at the 17th.
Yeah, there's a 4th shot. It shouldn't be an issue. She was thinking about holding it. It's going to be an easy 5 for Allison Lee. Allison did not play in this event last year. She had to withdraw because of injury. It was a struggle in the first half of the year. Played well in the second half of 2016 did Allison Lee. As you can see, she's only 3 shots back in an event where she finished tied for 4th a couple of years ago. So good memories from the Park Hyatt Aviara for Allison Lee.
Today's coverage is brought to you by the redesigned Cadenza from Kia, official vehicle of the LPGA. CME Group, how the world continues, and Suzann Pettersson, 15 times the winner on the LPGA Tour, including a couple of majors, has a lengthy one, Jerry, for birdie.
Yes, and Judy described it so well. It's a long putt, and it breaks a ton. She is looking roughly 12 to 15 feet left of the hole for her initial line. And right now she's stepping back thinking that might be enough. It's one of those putts too, Judy. The higher you hit it, the more it breaks because that slope increases toward the back of the green halfway there. And that's only half the problem. Getting the speed right is a big issue as well.
Well, Jerry, I thought she didn't hit it, but it's going to be pretty good.
I thought it was 8 feet short when she hit it, Judy.
Right.
To 11.
Christina Kim is under par for the week, and this is to get to 2 under. Never got it high enough. It's fooled quite a few players today, that whole location. And we'll go ahead to the 13th, and Jessica Korda has this for a birdie.
This putt goes uphill at first, then downhill a little bit, then back uphill at the hole. Not easy to judge the speed.
That's not too bad there, is it, Karen?
Pretty solid.
Jessica and her sister Nellie are staying together in a house for the first time. They've not stayed together at a tournament before, so this is new ground for them.
The first time at a tournament that they've stayed together.
Well, they have lived together for many
right,
years.
Correct.
Good point.
Thank you.
Seen a lot of 3 putts from that area. The first putt's difficult.
At the 14th area, Jatanagarn for birdie.
Trying to help right the ship a little bit. This too breaking a fair bit, even though it's a different angle than Suzanne's. Area tied for second last week, so 2 over thus far today is quite a surprise.
64 in the opening round last week in the Phoenix area, and went on to finish second.
We keep talking about last week, but it was such a different week. It was 95 degrees. It was very dry. The golf course was very fast. This is the opposite.
On Zhang for a birdie at the 13th.
Same line that Korda had.
Didn't really learn much. Almost an identical putt. But this is a good preparation, Judy, for next week. As we go to the 11th. Hedwell trying to save par here. The Swede who became a heroine for the European team at the Solheim Cup. Not to be.
Tom, you're right about the good preparation, because there's some rough that's a little bit significant here, and there will surely be high rough and narrower fairways next week when you get to the first major of the season, the ANA at Mission Hills. But we'll be back to those, I believe, 90-degree temperatures.
And back at the 14th, Ashley Buhai, the best tee shot of the bunch. This for birdie.
Yeah, still a slider, though. Oh, goodness.
17.
Marissa Steen, third to the par 5. Asking for that one to sit down. That's going to be fine.
Nice little uncomplicated golf swing.
And the 27-year-old who played so well on the Symetra Tour in 2014, won 3 times, graduated to the LPGA, but struggled in her first season out, went back to the Symetra Tour, and now she's back on the LPGA.
Visit Carlsbad, California to discover, to explore, to reconnect.
Can't wait. Marissa Steen.
Anna Zhang has the moves, but I bet she doesn't have the giraffe sweater. Famed by Judy Rankin.
Yeah.
It's coming back, you know.
Well, I hope I get one.
Marissa Steen has a birdie putt coming up here. This would get Marissa to 5 under par, just 1 back.
It's the quicker direction on this green. The left side of this green is higher than the right side of this green.
An Ohio native, now lives in the Orlando area. Good try. Sometimes later in the day, greens here are a little harder to contend with the growth during the day, but usually at Aviara they're very smooth. Let's go to the 14th.
And we see the tee shot of Lexi Thompson.
And as Jerry said, this tee shot is kind of tough for the players. It plays 10 yards downhill, but it's so protected by this copse of trees to the right that you can't tell where the wind is coming from. This is a good-looking shot just right of the hole. Not a bad spot.
The top tracer technology for a second looked like it was taking it towards the water. She's been a little under the weather the last few days. Last week in Phoenix. And Lexi trying to get healthy. To the 12th, and Pernilla Lindbergh. This for a share of the lead. Should take a 2-putt, wouldn't she, from here?
Yeah, you've done a good job if you can just roll this first one close, and that's where everyone has left the first one.
To 13.
Yanni Sen, 2012 Kia Classic winner. Not in a good position off the tee, just tried to cut a little too much of the corner off. And that is a great indication of how difficult it is out of the rough here. Yanni Sen's a pretty strong player, and you really need to be careful. We talked about Charlie Hull being injured in the Pro-Am, and that was from hitting a shot out of the rough just in practice. So it's a pretty stiff penalty here at Aviara this year, and they've had a pretty wet winter by San Diego County standards, and that's why it's lush out there. Struggles for Yanni at the 13th.
Yeah, last year we were still suffering through the California drought, and that's sort of been broken.
Yanni Sen, 28 years old. A little throwback Thursday, Judy.
Cute little girl.
Chinese Taipei. Would you have believed it in 2012 when she won here that this would be her last LPGA Tour victory? That was her third win of a very short year at that point.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's all very hard to believe what's happened to Yanni over the last few years, and I wish she could get that carefree attitude that she has in those pictures as a little girl, because the game has certainly worn her down.
There you go, 122 starts. Back at the 12th, Pernilla Lindbergh. And this putt for par to stay 5 under. Swede went to Oklahoma State collegiately.
Good putt.
Never too early in the week for a fist pump, is it? Yeah, that feels good, doesn't it? Nice 2-putt on a tough green.
I mean, you just really hate to 3-putt, and I don't care at what level you play this game. Everyone hates to 3-putt. It's like it's a wasted shot that you just don't feel that you ever get back.
She stays alone in third place. Back at 13, Sen.
Third shot by Yanni up the hill. Ji Chun has knocked it in close there. Yanni Sen lost that world ranking just over 4 years ago. Bank of Hope Founders Cup as we go to the 14th.
And Hana Zhang won the second event of the year in Australia.
This putt back down the hill. Known for being really one of the hard workers on tour. Has not missed a cut in 27 events. 29 events, I think it is now.
The late afternoon run out. Take a look at our past champions here. 7 previous playings of the Kia Classic. As Tom mentioned earlier, it moved over here to Aviara in 2013. Beatrice Ricari, a winner in a playoff that year. Nordquist in 2014. She, of course, won last week. Krista Kerr, the winner, came from behind on Sunday. And then Lydia Ko, as the #1 player in the world, was the winner last year. Shen Shen Feng at the 16th, second shot.
She is a very good ball striker. Maybe not somebody that we always name as one of the really good ball strikers in women's golf, but she absolutely is.
There's a beautiful look at the 18th, and Allison Lee, 3 shots off the lead with her second shot en route. Didn't hit it the way she wanted, clearly.
Sure is a good miss.
She'll have that for a 68.
You know, there are those who say it's a game of misses, and if you can minimize the mistakes where your misses are like that, you can play pretty darn good golf.
Back we go to the tee at the 18th, and Marissa Steen, 27 years old, and gets it done by hitting fairways. Not a long player. As you mentioned earlier, that does put some pressure on you, doesn't it? Especially when you're playing with some big boppers.
Very much so, and I like to use the term your margin for error gets a whole lot smaller because a mishit from someone like Marissa can often leave you a recovery shot that is just too long. No mishit there, that's just fine.
They can might as well stay in the first class there.
As we pull back, you see the water right. Bigger hitters have to decide what they want to hit off the tee. Back at 13.
This is Yanni to save par. I mentioned she lost that world ranking 4 years ago. That week she was asked about losing the world #1 spot, and she said, it's okay if I lose the #1 ranking, I'll just get it right back. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. She spent 109 weeks as the world #1, but is now outside of the world's top 100. To the 15th, Jutanagan's driven it over that road, which always signifies good drive here, Jerry.
Yeah, with a 2-iron, nonetheless. Only 129 remaining. Suzanne Pedersen safely aboard, makeable distance for birdie, but unfortunately, Ashley Buhai has had some trouble. She lies 4 in the right greenside bunker, Tom.
So it could be a double bogey on the way, or maybe worse for Ashley.
15th flight is one of the hardest holes on the course today.
Huge double green with the 12th. With the Kia Classic in Carlsbad, California, just a mile or so from the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful place to be. Surf's up.
Hey, Melissa, the whales need your help.
I love whales!
Beautiful look at the 18th here at Aviara Golf Club, designed by Arnold Palmer. You see that cadenza out there in the lake? Did you park there, Judy? Is that yours?
I tried, but I failed, so someone else got that done.
Let's see if Allison Lee can finish with a birdie. Didn't like the strike.
She might.
She might like this one. Oh! Got a leg up on the field with a birdie at 18. You know, we mentioned she's just outside the top 10 in the Solheim Cup. She's never been on a losing team. Junior Solheim Cup, Junior Ryder Cup, Solheim Cup. Shan Shan Feng at the 16th. First appearance in the U.S. this year for Shan Shan.
Yeah.
She tends to make her presence known, doesn't she?
She does. Everybody has a different way of planning out their schedule, and apparently she decided this would be the best way to get ready for the season.
15.
Harry Jutanagan for birdie.
Pretty slow one here, Tom. Maybe a touch of break from the right.
Both Harry Jutanagan and Lydia Ko with work to do over the rest of today and tomorrow. Lydia's already finished with a round of 74. Nelly Korda now for a birdie at 17 to get it back to level par. Yeah, good birdie. Certainly not the best preparation at the moment for Jutanagan and Ko for next week's major championship. The two players that went head-to-head coming down the stretch last year. Nelly Korda looking forward to being in the field next week. Let's go to 14.
Our top tracer technology takes us to that beautiful 14. Here's Inji Chun.
Good shot. Oh, looking good. Yeah, good.
Another to the right of the hole.
Much easier putt if you can do it.
Ahead to 15.
Suzanne Pedersen now for birdie.
Yeah, did a great job to get it to here, Tom, from the right rough. This one should be turning right a little bit. Should be turning right a little bit.
Boy, and it did, Jerry, right behind the hole.
That's maddening.
Just a par for Pedersen. Next week, the ANA is the one that's gotten away from her over the years.
Well, let's show you where we are. Here, this is in the Golden State, and we go down the coast about 35 miles north of San Diego, about 85, 90 miles south of Los Angeles, and zoom in a little closer, the Park Hyatt Aviara Resort in Carlsbad, the village by the sea, the Mataquitos Lagoon. Alongside. Mataquitos means little stick, they say in Spanish. And Vanilla Lindbergh made a big stick here at 13.
Sounds better in Spanish.
Mataquitos.
Into the wind, I don't think it's when
No, I was thinking
six from there.
but at 6 feet.
6 stepping up and
Perfect.
okay.
That's the club then.
Yeah.
Discussing with Mr. Buhai, who is the husband of Ashley. It's a new partnership.
Exactly.
Would you say middle of the green is between the pin and the tower?
Exactly. Those are goal posts.
Okay, perfect.
Just remember tempo, especially out of this lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Manila worked for a long time with her fiance Dan Taylor, and they decided that they would split up professionally and
stay together personally.
stay
it might
together
be a smart
personally,
idea.
very much together personally, and maybe that's going to be a good decision. Certainly, it's working this week. Looks like we can see quite a bit of the golf ball there, Jude. So may not be as bad as bad a lie as Yanni Sen had on the other side of the fairway.
I think it's just tricky when you're playing straight uphill, even though it's a very lofted club.
Sit there.
Well, we all know match play is one of the most exciting formats in golf, but you take that format and the world's best players, it's something you can't miss. Our coverage of the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play Championship continues tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. on Golf Channel, Saturday at 2 Eastern on NBC. World number 1 Dustin Johnson, a couple of impressive victories the first 2 days. This has been impressive. Marissa Steen, 2 shots off the lead with his second shot of the 18th. Another good look at birdie. She's had 5 of them today against just a single bogey, the 27-year-old. His best career finish is a tie for 30th. Right now she is tied for 4th on day 1 of the 8th Kia Classic in the Park Hyatt Aviara in Carlsbad, California.
When it comes to total...
2 years ago, Mo Martin from just up the road at UCLA. Pernilla Lindbergh on the course, one back. Marissa Steen has a birdie putt at the 18th momentarily to shoot 67. We're at the 15th. And this is Lexi Thompson from just off the green.
The greens here are very, very large, and the legend has it that when they were building the golf course, they made a few miscalculations when they first set out the front 9 and actually built the greens double the size that they were supposed to build them. And so they just carried on with that theme. And so the greens here are unusually large. It wasn't by design originally. Of course, Arnold Palmer designed the golf course. Take a look at Lexi's card here on day 1. And this is the biggest putting surface out here, but it is a double green. You can see with the 12th, it's about a 3/4 wedge from front to back.
It's going to be the biggest green in California.
Not fun to mow it, I'm sure, every morning. Kevin Keenas and his team do a great job of getting this golf course prepared every year, despite the conditions in the run-up to the tournament. And once again, it looks great. I'm sure somebody draws the short straw to mow this every morning. Lexi Thompson missing out.
Tom talked about this phenomenal golf course, Aviara. Let's take a look at our course setup, brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Arnold Palmer designed it. They had the 25th anniversary last summer.
Yeah, he designed it, and Tom just told you the good story about the greens. Those very large greens have become a bit of a signature for this place. Poana greens, and in very fine shape.
Last summer, when they had the 25th anniversary, they put a plaque on the par 3 third, dedicating it to Arnold Palmer. They sent him word that they were doing that. He sent them a wonderful note back. It's a beautiful hole, and that's a beautiful tribute for the late, great Arnold Palmer.
It really is. It's an uphill, shortish par 3, 147 yards on the scorecard this week, and you cross the bridge to get to that green, and a very nice tribute, and we continue to miss Arnold.
Hannah Jang for a birdie. just went the other way. And actually, a bit of work to do for Hana Jang coming back for par. It's been a good year so far for Hana.
As we go to the 18th, we'll show you some scores. When they had the 25th anniversary, Phil Mickelson came over and held a clinic for some of the folks who were here to celebrate. Tiffany Joe has a birdie putt here at the 18th. How about the hat?
Well, the hat's interesting, but you won't see her without a hat now, and you didn't in the past, but she has recovered from melanoma surgery on her head, on her scalp, and she had always protected herself pretty well. Was very surprised. Doctors were very surprised at her young age, and just the fact that she'd always taken care of herself. But I take from it melanoma is not always sun related, so just be careful and be checked.
13.
Pernilla Lindberg with her third shot. And that's played pretty well. It wasn't easy. She was a little unfortunate that she just ran into that longer grass. You saw the sprinkler heads there between her and the hole. Judy, she could have moved it, but she needed to be on the closely mown area.
Yeah, a new local rule that the LPGA has adopted, which is used when you go play in the Open Championship or the Women's British Open, but both the sprinkler heads and the ball have to be in a closely mown area.
Marissa Steen for a round of 67.
Oh.
Good start, though.
Beautiful round
for
of
a
golf.
player who needs a little confidence early in the year.
Yeah, that's right.
Try to keep her card for the first time. At the 16th, Arya Jatanagarn.
With a sand wedge from 111 to another green that is simply massive, 60 yards in depth. Back left hole location today. And a beauty.
Good job. If she could possibly get this back to even par when the round ends, she will have more or less survived.
Graham McDowell, Bryson DeChambeau, Andrew Beef Johnston, each looking to jumpstart their respective seasons on the
54. If you go
17.
to the right, it's 80 short of the front. So that's 174.
Just hit through it.
Yeah. That's fine. Just go right at the pin and just hit it. Yeah. We got a little bit into off the right.
Third shot at the par 5 for Shen Shen Feng. Problems off the tee. It's quite a difficult tee shot. This is quite narrow, a little narrow shoot down the hill. And she pulled it left into the trees off the tee. Knocked it out to here, so this her third. Just her third start of 2017. 21st and 12th placed finishes recorded already in the 2 events in Asia. This one trying to run up onto the green, but it's just not going to get there. So up and down for par for Shen Shen. The bronze medal winner in Rio last summer. She had good form here, 3 top 10s at the Kia Classic. She was 3rd in 2013. She finished 6th in 2010, and she was 6th last year. To the 18th.
And Marissa Steen, 68. She started 67 in Australia, 71 the next round, but then struggled in the closing 2. 8th on the Symetra Tour last year. At the 16th, Ashley Buhai.
This, for a desperately needed birdie, was cruising along so nicely and then ended up making triple bogey 7 at 15 Grant. Drove it left in the hazard, couple chops out of there, and just made a mess of it.
Again, a late entry for Charlie Hull, who injured her right wrist yesterday in the Pro-Am. We saw her father last night, and he was concerned. Dave, talking about Charlie Hull's father.
Yeah, Charlie told me the discomfort feels a little bit like nerve pain. So we'll see if rest does the trick.
Beth Allen, local product, Carlsbad resident and a terrific year on the Ladies European Tour last year. Unprecedented, in fact.
But most impressively, this is a young woman who, back in 2011, donated one of her kidneys to her older brother, who is watching her play today.
Brother Dan. 13.
Yeah, she have a lot of support here. Will Beth Allen. Lindbergh to save par again here at the 13th. She's had a few of these today. Awkward length putts to save par, but she's handled it very well. Of course, had 5 birdies in a row on the front 9. Worked very hard on her putting last weekend in Phoenix. And almost paying off there.
We ever had Swedes win back-to-back on the LPGA Tour? 2 different Swedes.
Are you asking me right off my head whether I know that? That's a very tough trivia question.
It is. I'm thinking out loud.
And we are going to find you an answer very quickly.
This is the $1,000 question.
Wouldn't be surprised if...
Oh, that question was... I thought you were going to then ask another one. The follow-up.
Maybe Annika and Alfie.
Yes.
Back in those days. Who knows?
The likely combo would be those two. But we will find out. Maria Carter, our assistant here in the booth, is quizzically looking into her computer.
Wondering why we asked that question, I think.
Chen Shenfang, 4th at the par 5.
Now.
Shenzhen is such a kind of joyful spirit.
Yeah.
She always is in a good mood. She always has something nice or funny to say, and a lot of players look forward to seeing her.
She was hamming it up with her coach Gary Gilchrist on the range yesterday. This was Suzanne Pedersen for birdie just a second ago.
But that looked like it had to go a little bit toward the back of the green, as it typically does.
Nothing wrong with that at all. 2 under. Day 1, 6 under is the lead. Last win was a couple of years ago. And now live, Arya Jutanugarn for a much-needed birdie. That kind of day, huh, Jerry? World number 2, but struggling today. World number 1 also struggling at 2 over par. No struggles for Christy Kerr and Mo Martin. Send it down to Karen Stuffles.
Thanks, Grant. I'm here with Marissa Steen, and you played a really good round of golf today, but your journey here to the LPGA hasn't been an easy one. You were on the tour in 2015, didn't keep your card, went to the Symetra Tour. What's going to be different this time round for you?
I'm really a lot more comfortable and confident out here. You know, last time I was hurt to start in 2015 and made a couple cuts early, but had kind of a rough go after that and really lost a lot of confidence out on the golf course. So going back to Symetra Tour last year really helped me regain that confidence back. And now that I'm out here again, I know the ropes, you know, kind of know what to expect week in and week out. So I feel so much more comfortable.
And what about this type of golf course, playing in Ohio, from Memphis? This isn't really your normal kind of course. How does this different for you?
You know, actually, this type of course reminds me a lot of the course I played back home. Quite a bit of elevation change, a lot of carries, and some big greens. So actually, it does remind me a lot of Ohio golf, at least the part of Ohio that I'm from. So, you know, the ball isn't going quite as far as last week, so that was an adjustment. But, you know, the greens I play back home have quite a bit of poana in them as well. So I actually feel very comfortable out here.
Well, it's lovely to talk to you, and good luck with the rest of the week. Thanks, Marissa.
Thank you.
Really nice start. 4 under par 68. Take you to the tee at 14, and Pernilla Lindbergh.
Adjusted or not?
It's adjusted, yes. Good.
I would mention, though, that in Ohio, the ocean isn't right over the hill.
That's perfect. Just tempo. Good.
Top tracer technology here at the 14th.
Hey, that's never good.
Did not hit that well.
Oh, it's fine? Okay.
Fire is quite solid.
Yeah,
you
that's true.
Just hand up straight away, so.
I mean, it's...
What does this mean? Being a sea.
17.
Miyazato has this for a birdie to get to 1 under. And a good putt from Miyazato, who was known as such a great putter during the, I suppose, the heyday of her career, which was a few years ago now. She would love to get back to that sort of form and needs that club to work for her. To the 18th.
And Beth Allen, you mentioned that amazing act of generosity. Said she really didn't even have much of a discussion. It was, she knew her brother Dan needed the kidney, which he had been told he would have to have from someone. And her parents were not a match. Her father, Jim, passed away of melanoma. This is a family that's been touched by tragedy, but Dan is out watching today, we understand. And Beth Allen off an unprecedented year on the Ladies European Tour, the first American to win the Order of Merit. She was Player of the Year as well, after 4 years out here on the LPGA Tour before that.
Well, Beth, you read it perfectly, but you forgot to get it to the hole.
He's a Padres fan, a San Diego resident. Our defending champion, Lydia Ko, was over at Petco Park in advance of this event to promote it.
Doctors have breakthroughs. Scientists have breakthroughs.
This is a third shot for Pernilla Lindberg, whose first went into the water short.
No. No.
Oh, no. Top Tracer technology takes us just onto dry ground.
Safe.
Exhale. She'll have that for bogey. Got to 5 under. And she'll have that to drop back to 3.
Jen's been battling away here at the 17th. This is for par. Remember, she hit that drive into the left trees, and it's going to cost her a bogey. Number 4 in the world. 6 wins on the LPGA Tour. She's had 6 wins on the Ladies European Tour as well. We'll go back to the 18th.
And the par putt here for Beth Allen after the first Judy came up well short. Oh. That'll turn dinner sour, won't it?
It will. You kind of, fought all day and you're 3 under par and you do not finish it off well.
All in all, good start for Beth Allen. Home game for her. Really good start for Kerr and Martin. They share a 2-shot lead at 6 under on the shores of the Pacific. Zoo, home to more than 3,700 animals, 650 species and subspecies. The San Diego Zoo has been a pioneer in the concept of open-air cageless exhibits that recreate natural animal habitats. And at 15, NG Chung.
Have you been? Have you been to the zoo?
I have been to the zoo. It's wonderful.
It is absolutely phenomenal. That's a pretty good putt too there at the 15th for NG.
She kind of stuck her tongue out at the 15th there. Drop it in. 5 straight threes.
NG Chung to 4 under, 2 back. And this was a moment ago at the 17th. Ashley Buhai with her 3rd.
Yeah, and the gap wedge here, 101 yards to the hole. Well done. Very well done.
Yeah, very good. It was a little breezy earlier. It now looks pretty still out there, Jerry.
It's pretty nice right now.
At the 14th, this is a bogey attempt from just right of the green for Pernilla Lindberg.
Pretty slow from this direction and over that 8 or 10 feet anyway of fairway grass.
And you haven't answered our trivia question.
We do. It's happened multiple times.
Different Swedes winning consecutive events. On
the last of which was Sorenstam in 2005. Neumann followed by Sorenstam.
Have there ever been Norwegians win consecutively? Different Norwegians. Pedersen here.
I'm going to say no. She was screaming at that one.
Am I correct, Tom? I'm thinking quickly here, but is Suzanne not the only player we've ever had from Norway?
I don't think she's the only one.
You don't?
No, I believe we've had a couple of others.
We're just peppering Tom with questions today, aren't we? This is Shen San Feng, second shot at 18, a chance to get that shot back that she lost at 17. We'll scour the record books during this quick timeout. Birdie attempt for Feng coming up. Day one from the Kia Classic continues from Carlsbad, California.
Blind spots can make navigating certain driving situations.
Inside the right edge of the hole.
Well, 5 straight birdies on the front, but then bogey, double.
Reminded yourself you played well. Yeah.
Just a moment to go. Suzanne Pedersen for birdie.
Well, the ball listened on the third shot, sat out nicely. Good look here.
Ooh. It's going to frustrate her. That was a moment ago. Now live with view high for birdie.
I don't see much to this. Maybe a touch of breaking the right, but that could be a mistake. This green's full each and every year. Players as well, for that matter. They are as smooth as I've ever seen them, though, Tom. You mentioned Superintendent Kevin Keenest earlier. He and his team have done a great job getting the thatch out of these greens because Polana can get really bumpy in the afternoon, and I have not seen a lot of bobbling putts today.
Oh, just didn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah, she read it better than I did.
Well, Kerr and Martin this morning with matching 66s. Inji Chun on the course at 4 under. We've had a couple of aces today. Alejandro Munoz and Moria Tanagon. And how about Julie Inkster right there with a 2 under par 70, and Beth Allen with a round of 70 as well, and she and someone very close to her standing by with Karen Stupples.
Thanks, Grant. Yes, I'm with Beth and her brother Dan, and really a tremendous story, and you guys touched on it a little earlier on, but I figured we may as well hear it from Beth. Beth, the decision to give your brother a kidney, how hard was that for you?
Not hard at all. It was one of the easiest decisions I ever made. He needed one, and I'm his little sister, so he get it.
Do you still get emotional thinking about, you know, what you've been able to give to him?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made, like I said. But it was an easy one, and we're all so grateful he's healthy now.
And I read an article that it was about giving him life that you had.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so lucky. I get to play golf for a living. I get to travel. I get to do all these things. But he wasn't able to do as much as me. So it was really easy to give him a better life.
And Dan, from your perspective, what was it like knowing that your sister had to make this decision, but also giving you a chance to live a life of your own?
Oh, it was excellent. Just the sacrifice, the time she had to put in for the testing, all the stuff, and then once everything set in and actually got it, the impact right away was really good. Felt really awesome.
And how rewarding is it for you now, watching her perform so well, not only on the Ladies European Tour, but here in your hometown, San Diego?
Super awesome to watch her play. Watch how physically well gifted she is. Just.
And you have a bit of that in you now.
Yes, definitely so. Yes, I do.
Has your mood changed any? Do you get her moods at all, or are you still even keeled?
No, not so much. I can see what's coming now. Yeah.
And Beth, on a golfing note, your game really turned around on the Ladies European Tour once you got Sophie Gustafsson caddy on your bag. What does she do for you on the golf course?
Well, she's awesome. She really leads me in the right direction. She uses her experience to give to me when I need that sort of thing. Like when I'm in contention, she's obviously done it a bunch of times, so it's easy for her to tell me what to do. And we also always have fun, and I think that's one of the most important things for me.
Well, it's a brilliant story, and it's so pleased. I'm so glad to see you two out here together, and I can see the family resemblance. So best of luck for the rest of the week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Well done, Karen. Thanks. Thanks, Beth and Dan. At the 18th, the birdie putt for Shan Shan Feng to try to get that shot back she lost at 17.
Playing an awful lot of break.
Like Beth Allen coming up short, not as short, but playing with Paula Creamer and Ai Miyazato. What do you make of Shan Shan's chances next week at the ANA?
I think she always has a chance. She is our major championship winner, of course, from China. She holds an LPGA championship title.
5 years ago. Home week for the Allens. Beth Allen, good start, 2 under par 70. Curran Martin setting the pace at -6. Number 3 in the world, In-Ji Chun, 2 shots off the lead.
Beautiful shot.
She's got a par 5 coming up next. Who knows, maybe she could get a share of the lead. At the 18th, Jerry Foltz watching Arya Jatanagarn. A rare off day.
Sorry, because that other.
Not the best lie in the rough, but not the worst either. 165 yards, you're right. A rare off day for Arya. 32 events consecutively she's played without missing a cut. This is only day 1, but that looms with her current score. 7-iron for Arya. Starting it well left, and actually faded it back just a bit. Ended up on a good line for a minute.
Well, you pay the price, though, every time you are not playing from the fairway. Cannot stop the ball.
The rough is longer and more consistent than we've ever seen it here. It is very penal.
Back 1 to 17.
One and only Lexi Thompson for a birdie here. Has to get to 2 under. Almost got home in 2 at the 17th. But the second shot coming up in the thick grass wasn't able to get it close. So this for birdie. You would think that length would be a big advantage here, Judy, but you have to harness it with this, with the way the golf course has been presented this year in the thick rough.
Yeah, for sure. Don't know which is better, to have that length or to hit the fairways, because we have not seen anyone hit a shot close to the hole from the rough.
In-Ji Chun for birdie at 16, and Karen Stupples is now on hand to watch it.
And I know that, Judy, you said this last week in Phoenix. In-Ji Chun, I think, is one of the best putters from this range, and that's even including Inbee Park or Lydia Ko. She just has such a smooth stroke.
Yep. She doesn't do anything in a quirky sort of way. It's all very conventional, nice soft grip, a conventional grip.
17.
Jessica Korda for a birdie. This will be to get to 3 under. Jessica, it's been a couple of years since she last won on the tour. Won 2015 in Malaysia. Struggles here at the 15th again for Pernilla Lindberg. Bogey, double bogey the last 2 holes. This is for par. This is an important putt. Try and steady the ship. Looks a little uncomfortable with that putting routine. Obviously something she's been working on. We saw her with her coach on Sunday in Phoenix. And that is going to be a bogey, double bogey, bogey run for the Swede. Back over to the 17th. Hana Jang now for a birdie. Player who is a second in the race to the CME Globe, second on the money list, 6th in the world, 4 times a winner on the LPGA Tour. Already has 1 win this year. That was in Australia at the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open. And she calls the San Diego area home, and you can't blame her with views like that. Christy Kerr, Mo Martin lead at the Kia Classic.
Sport features amenities and services that are unmatched. Guests can enjoy sparkling pools, 6 state-of-the-art lighted tennis courts, and at the end of the day, rejuvenate and relax at the 15,000 square foot signature spa. 5 highly acclaimed restaurants on site, little something for everyone at the Park Hyatt Aviara Resort. You can learn more at parkhyattaviara.com. Is that spa big enough for you? 15,000 square feet, Judy?
It's lovely.
At 18, Jerry, a birdie attempt here for Jatanagarn.
Yeah, long range outside chance at it here. A little uphill early. We'll die right at the end.
Very many players with really perfect speed today, Jerry. Short, long, but more short than anything else.
Now, Pernilla Lindberg to finish off with a bogey here at 15. Just doesn't look comfortable.
It would appear to me as though she's trying to stand up just a little bit straighter. And I one time had an experience with crouching, getting too low, and you kind of, in a way, are getting in your own way.
Yeah, I was trying to get the attention to go behind the bushes.
And at the 18th, Suzanne Petterson for birdie.
And Judy right here, perhaps one of the toughest putts to get the speed right. It is uphill early, then at the hole it starts going away, and at 3 or 4 feet past, it really drops quickly off to the left edge of the green. Almost predictable to leave that one short.
Yep. Cool temperatures. I don't think it's above 63 or 64 all day.
And a good look at what the players are staring at on the tee at the 18th.
Pretty obvious you don't want to put the ball in the water, but there are also bunkers left that are not a good shot either.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
How's that sound?
What'd you say?
You can go ahead and hit it at that right edge shot.
Jessica Korda, one of those pretty swings that you get from a very tall player, someone with long limbs. Beautiful takeaway. Swings the club right up over her right shoulder. Nice transition. And you see how she stayed in her posture, stayed in the shot until long after the ball was gone.
And now Lexi Thompson.
That's a nice one.
Her older brother, Nicholas, had a great chance to win in the Bahamas earlier this year. So did she in the Bahamas. Lost a playoff. Brittany Lincecum. Another look at Lexi's swing.
Yeah, another very tall player. A little faster tempo for Lexi than you get from Jessica Korda. But she really has a good golf swing right there. But when she comes back to the ball, you're going to see that she straightens a little bit quicker than Jessica Korda and up on her toes. But to tell you the truth, there's an awful lot of players who come up on their toes a little bit in the impact area. It's not necessarily a bad thing, even in the men's game.
Well, I think like this.
Bubba Watson will get up on those little tootsies, won't he?
I think Justin Thomas gets up on his toes just a little bit in the impact area.
He's pretty good. And check out the 2017 race to the CME Globe.
Fringe to here. This one turning a little left. Oh, and it was such a promising round just an hour ago.
Mm-hmm. Triple bogey at 15 and a bogey at the 18th.
Second shot for Christina Kim at the 15th. That's actually not too bad coming out of the rough here.
Well, the sound of that impact would tell you how thick and difficult this rough is.
Yeah, they say they may top off the rough over the next couple of days. We're still going to be pretty thick out there at the Kia Classic. It is to be avoided. Christy Kerr and Mo Martin avoided it today. Rounds of 66. Christy Kerr, a past winner here at the Kia Classic. She won in 2015.
Number 9 in the world rankings. And Tom, you had a little nugget that you tweeted out about Americans and Europeans in the top 8, right?
In the history of the world rankings, there's never been a time that there are no Americans or Europeans in the top 8, apart from this week.
Lexi's number 9. Ooh.
Beauty.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead. No. Near perfect. She can smile about it now.
I think we give her that.
And now Jessica Korda.
Some undulation in the fairways. Jessica with the ball well below her feet. You play into somewhat of the setting sun, almost as good a shot.
See those two together in August, wouldn't you suspect? At the Solheim Cup. There's another former American Solheim Cup participant.
Christina Kim, cheerleader almost for the American team. Always brings a different element to the team chemistry.
Young golfers from around the country will realize a dream when they compete at Augusta National. Don't miss the Drive, Chip, and Putt National Finals Sunday, April 2nd at 8 a.m. Eastern to kick off Masters Week. That has burgeoned into quite the event, hasn't it, the last couple of years. How about the Kia Cadenza? Still don't know how they got it out there.
It's a pretty wonderful carrot to sort of wave in front of the players along with the winner's purse.
You'd have to drive that right over to Palm Springs, wouldn't you?
Be perfect.
Hana Jang.
Thank you.
It's landing on the middle on top.
So like this 50 yards, something like that? Yeah, okay.
Tee shot in the rough, second shot to this point. She'll do well to get inside her fellow competitors' second shots.
green really slopes off right there to the left side.
She'll have that to shoot 1 under 71.
Inji Chun, third shot to the par 5, 17th.
Has 92 yards to go. Awkward lie off downhill ball above her feet. But this looks great.
Yeah. Whoa, didn't need all of that spin to the left, but a good chance for birdie. We've just seen Suzanne Pedersen finish up. She's with Jerry Foltz.
And a very respectable opening round, 200 par 70, Tom. Suzanne, this is your 7th year here. You've played here every year of the event, but only one top 10. What challenges does this course present you?
The greens. I'm pretty happy with the 2 under par play in the afternoon today. This is work in progress for me. I've been striking the ball really good all year. Made a couple of changes. That's really settling in. I'm hitting more greens. You can tell by the stats. Now it's just about getting the putt to drop. And for me, it's a warm-up for next week. That's kind of where my game is headed, and that's where my head is going. So if I can kind of put 4 good rounds together here, leave here with a good feel, anything can happen.
We all know how much next week means to you, one that essentially got away from you perhaps in the past. Handicap your chances going into next week. Are you comfortable with where you're at right now?
You know, I would like to test myself a little bit. It would be nice to be in contention this week, play a good round tomorrow, kind of feel the pressure a little bit on the weekend, and then kind of feed off from there. So, but you know what? It's a great warm-up week for us. You still got to hit good shots out here. You got to hit good iron shots because the greens are, I mean, they're big, but I mean, if you want to attack some of these pins, you got to hit some good shots. So, overall, it's a good test.
All right. Best of luck the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Par putt here for Hannah Zhang. Lexi Thompson tapped in her birdie putt. And she might be inside Jessica Korda. That'll be a bogey putt for Hannah Zhang. Only 3 bogey-free rounds today, to Suzanne's point about the difficulty of the greens.
Well, I think, you know, and everything that we've seen today speaks to the difficulty of the greens, the difficulty reading them, the difficulty getting the speed right. These are the kind of greens where, you know, the line you choose really has to complement the speed you're hitting the putt, and that's not always easy. You have to be a great feel putter.
And a birdie for Jessica Korda from the shadow into the sun, and a fine round of 69. A bogey putt here for Hannah Zhang. Had an ace last week in Phoenix. Good
yes,
week.
She did, and she made every attempt to hug the Kia that she won.
63 on Sunday, this for a round of 72. Number 6 in the world, you would imagine she would be somewhere near the top of the leaderboard come Sunday next week at the A&A, wouldn't it? Mo Martin had one of those 3 bogey-free rounds today. She's tied with Christy Kerr, who won here a couple of years ago. Mirim Lee has had success here. She shot a bogey-free 68 today. And you see Jessica Korda with that short birdie putt at the 18th for a round of 69. Anna Nordquist following up last week's victory in the Phoenix area. A solid opening round. She's in the top 10. And Jackie Stelton, first round in the 60s this year.
Didn't have any help from her caddy on it. Did it all for herself.
Made the right decision there. She knew the line, and that means we have 3 players tied at the top. Kerr, Chun, and Martin. Of course, Inji Chun has a chance to take the overnight lead on her own. Let's go over to the other side of the golf course. The final hole for Hyo-Joo Kim, who has a chance could finish at 5 under. Not to be. Ju Kim, herself a major champion, winning at Evian.
And at the 18th, our now co-leader, In-Ji Chun, Karen's watching.
Intimidating tee shot, downhill, water right, bunkers left. Have to be careful. This one is drifting right. Has to sit down.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Inside the hazard line, but dry.
And maybe not the worst lie. She could have caught something much worse.
Let's take a look at our Som Dessous refreshing round of the day, and it belongs to In-Ji Chun. Got hot here in the last hour and a half or so. 5 birdies in the last 6 holes. That was at the 15th. This one's at the 16th. Just sling this one in here, the back left hole location. And then at 17, the par 5, her 3rd from 92 yards.
That was really a pretty shot. Just beautiful, smooth tempo.
Our refreshing round of the day. And she stayed dry with that tee shot. Now she'll have a chance with that second shot. Maybe take the lead outright.
Yeah, the lead is, the lie is pretty decent. She's not going to be able to ground her club. She is within the hazard line, but she got a break.
She usually makes her own. Last year, Rookie of the Year, Bear Trophy winner. And she is tied for the lead with Kerr and Martin. Day 1, just glorious here in Southern California. And our coverage from the Kia Classic continues. Today's coverage is brought to you by the redesigned Cadenza from Kia, official vehicle of the LPGA. The new Volvic Vibe, an ultra-soft tour ball for any swing speed. Feel the vibe. And by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
Hey, Melissa, the whales need your help.
Just a moment ago at the 18th, co-leader In-Ji Chun inside the hazard line. Can't ground the club, right?
Correct.
That was from 150 yards. Going to judge the release on this one. From the rough, it can't stop.
Well, amazingly, it did stop quite quickly. It's a tough putt from there, but you can see the ball is just inside the red hazard line. She cannot ground the club. Makes a really good swing.
When you strike it as purely as she does, you can even get a little check out of the rough, can't you?
Well, she sure did right there.
Well, Pernilla Lindberg, this for a birdie, having had such a nasty run on this back 9. Finally a birdie to get back to 1 under par.
Oh, wow, you might not play like a pro. Now you can book like one. Introducing Golf Now VIP, an all-new annual membership featuring no convenience or cancellation fees, 25% more rewards points on every round you book. Become a VIP today at golfnow.com/VIP. Well, there you see the leaderboard. And Karen, little breaks or big breaks like In-Ji just got there. Sometimes you don't think about them Sunday, but they matter on Thursday, just like they do late in the day on Sunday, don't they?
They do, and it was amazing because IK Kim, caddy, Chad, who's in the same group, said to me walking down the fairway, it's amazing when things are going right, things really do go right. And as a player, it's really easy to not notice those good breaks. And it's very easy to see the bad breaks, but you have to accept them when they come.
You heard Jerry say earlier, it really runs away once it gets to the hole, Judy.
I don't know if it's stopped yet.
That'll be for par to match Mo Martin and Christy Kerr. Our UL Innovative shot of the day happened at that 18th. It was Lexi Thompson just a bit ago.
I have to say it was a well-balanced, good-looking swing. Of course, I already know what a great shot it was, but watching it again, that would be a good one to copy.
She would tap that in for a birdie in a round of 2 under par 70, our UL Innovative shot of the day. IK Kim at the 18th.
And she would have seen how far past In-Ji Chun's ball rolled. And as a player, it's really hard to make yourself get the ball to the hole having seen a player knock it that far past. IK's been hitting the ball well today. Really hasn't got anything going on the greens. This has to slow down.
We're going to A&A next week, and every time we're there, we just think about that bizarre scene with IK Kim and the short missed putt.
Yeah, if memory serves me well, she lost this tournament right here on this green with a 3-putt in a playoff.
Lakari?
I think that's right.
It was 2012 that she had the 1-footer, 1.5 maybe. We've got second round coverage for you tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. out here on the West Coast. In-Ji Chun, long comebacker for par here, Karen.
And interesting that she brought her caddy, Dylan, in to have a really extensive look at this, whereas on the previous hole where she made a birdie, it was no big deal. She went up and did it for herself. So there's a little uncertainty in her mind and the read on this putt.
Oh, boy. And she just barely stays dry off the tee, and a rather adventurous 2-putt. But it is good for a 66, and last year's scoring leader is the best scorer. None better, at least. She matches Curran Martin with a 66. Near perfect conditions here in Southern California, as they so often are. But a challenging golf course, the Park Hyatt Aviara Resort. Current past champion Mo Martin and Pedersen, all good rounds today. Second round coverage of the